Over the years of being a wedding DJ, I have learned many things. Some through doing my research beforehand, some from mentors, and most the hard way. To set yourself apart from other DJs and leave the guests with a positive experience that gets you referrals, you're going to want to avoid these 6 things. I'm honestly shocked by how many people are doing number 3. If you take anything from this video, let it be to never arrive late. Hi, I'm Joe, and I've been a successful wedding DJ for over 10 years, which has given me the opportunity to teach others based on the things that have worked well for me and the things that didn't. The first thing you should never do as a wedding DJ is think that you run the show. Well, you kind of run the show, but there are definitely caveats to that. Honestly, a lot of people get this wrong. You see, here's the thing. As a wedding DJ, you are not the only vendor providing your service to the client. You are actually working with a set of other professional wedding vendors doing the same thing. We're all there to serve our client, in this case, the couple. And yes, they did hire you to do your work, which is to DJ, to host, to entertain, and MC, but then there are other factors involved to really execute the flow of a wedding smoothly and making sure that everyone is doing their job. I mean, you're working with your photographer, you're working with a videographer, and also the wedding planner. Just to give you an example, I've spoken with a wedding planner, and that wedding planner has her own timeline that was already discussed with the client, and she worked with the DJ who had a completely different timeline than the wedding planners. And guess what? That wedding DJ is no longer on the planner's preferred vendor list. Because here's the thing, there was a miscommunication of what was expected on the wedding day, and that DJ had their own timeline to go off and didn't really consider the timeline that the wedding planner and coordinator has actually discussed with the client, and it just threw everything off, and it's not a good move. It really showed that, you know what, I can do it on my own. I don't need to work with anyone else. But here's the thing, you are stepping on people's toes from doing what they're meant to do. By thinking that you run the show, you are doing a disservice to your clients because they hired other professional vendors to do their job as well. And ultimately, if you go with your own agenda and if it goes wrong, you're the one to blame. The second thing that you should never do is go in unprepared. Now, of course, we prepare to some level, but I'm talking about the mindset of, you know what? I got this. I got this. Here's a problem with that thinking. You are taking that upcoming wedding and thinking of it as a regular normal wedding. But here's the thing, if you really want to stand out in this game, then you would have to have the mindset that every couple, every wedding is different, and it requires different approach each and every time. Because if you come in with I already got this mindset, that means that you are walking into your next event with the current set of skills, approach, and processes that you currently have. There's no room for improvement to really make your wedding a one and unique experience for your client. And that's what's going to help propel you to really grow your business. Sure, you can get away with what you currently know and have, but you're missing out on the potential of what could have been if you only took the time to actually prepare for your upcoming wedding. You see, this is their once in a lifetime event, and just to have that mentality where you can kind of brush it off and think, you know what, I got this. It shows how really confident you are, which I'm all for, and I want you to be confident, but I want to challenge you to take it a step further, because it is in that moment that when you actually prepare is that you are actually able to create even new moments that you probably didn't know that you could have created, but it can only have been done. It's because you took that time to prepare for that moment to happen. And when that moment does, your client is going to praise you, and that's only going to lead to even more business, because you know what? That wedding was theirs, and it was because you actually took the time to do whatever it takes to make that experience to the next level. I can't believe I have to say this, but please never arrive late. Yeah, I know it's pretty obvious. We don't want to arrive late at a wedding, but I want to challenge you. Instead of arriving late, I mean, you're arriving early before the event starts, right? But the question that I want to impose on you or ask you is, how early should you arrive? And my solution is how early as you can get there. Because here's the reason why. This is someone's big wedding day, and there are a lot of things that can happen or go wrong on the big wedding day. For example, you know what? You can't find parking, and that takes 10-15 minutes of your setup time. Or you know what? You forgot a certain cable or a certain amount of gear, or you know what? The room needs to be be flipped or different placement of equipment needs to be in a different spot. You see, a lot of this can be prevented if you came prepared, but also if you arrive early. Here's the thing, by arriving early, you can do so much more than just setting up your equipment. You can actually take the time to take some pictures, to take some video content, to vlog, so that way you can market yourself after the wedding. And you can also, besides taking pictures and video for yourself, you can actually take the time to feel out the vibe of the space. You can really observe what's going on here, what's going on there. Try to imagine yourself as if you're one of the guests. You can also even talk to the vendors, talk to the people who are working with you. So that way you are making them feel comfortable and introducing yourself and just making sure that you guys work together as a team, which goes back into what I talked about in number 1. So it's pretty obvious not to arrive late at a wedding, but I want to challenge you. The question that you should be asking yourself is, what are the things that you can accomplish if you arrive early? The fourth thing that you should never do is forget that you are performing. Now, what do I mean by this? A lot of DJs think that performing is actually performing as in like mixing music. Like, yes, that is performing, but I want to challenge you and having the mindset that the moment you arrive on property, the moment you set foot on that property, that's when you're performing. You are on. See, you want to be at your best self because you never know who is watching you. You never know who you're going to be talking to and experiencing you. And you are not just providing an experience for your clients, but you're providing an experience to everyone around you on that property. They get to experience your vibe, your energy, your mood, and you're helping setting the mood, maybe not to in front of everyone just yet, but setting the mood for yourself, because that's what's really going to help you perform at your best when it really matters the most. So let me give you an example. Think of going to Disneyland, happiest place on earth, right? So you're walking down Main Street, you turn the corner and you see Mickey Mouse smoking a cigar in the back alley somewhere. What? Mickey Mouse? But you see what happened? Imagine people have some kind of expectation from the DJ, someone who's bringing the energy, bringing the vibes, and they see you in a bad mood, or they see you complaining on the phone, arguing. I think you get the idea. And it's not giving a good impression of people. If they see you in that state of mind, what will they think of you when you're actually there in front of hundreds of people, in front of the couple's friends and family? You see, this is just one instance. I'm just giving an example of being on or performing even before the event actually starts. But imagine carrying your energy, your positive energy, your vibe and mood and attitude throughout the rest of the event. You never know who's watching you. So be on, be at your best behavior because every moment counts. And who knows, maybe because of your presence and you being in the moment and you giving your best shot in what you're hired to do, it could lead you to more referrals and you can get raving fans out of that wedding because they enjoyed your performance, but most importantly, they enjoyed you that night. You see, when you act in a way that's not how people perceive you, you are damaging your brand. Real talk. Number 5, never think that you can predict the vibe. Here's the thing, with weddings, it is such a live experience that you can't predict every single moment that's going to happen. Yes, we can do our best because we have a timeline. We've already discussed what the vibe is expected from your couple and you know what they want. But as a DJ, we have to be able to adapt with our surroundings and what's happening, and we have to adjust accordingly, whether it's our approach in the way we talk or the way that we approach in the way we play our music, especially when choosing the right songs to be played at the right time. For example, you may have the most awesome couple approved playlist, but if no one is dancing to Uptown Funk, then you're going to have to adjust for the crowd. Now, this is what I recommend you doing instead. Read the room. Now, everyone has different methodologies on how to read their room, but the main point here is that you have to feel out the crowd and feel out, okay, what do they want to listen? What will set the mood? What do they want to hear? How can I get them engaged with the music again? And number 2 is ask the couple beforehand and make sure that you get the permission that you have the ability to adjust to the crowd, to play what you feel it's right based on your expertise on what the crowd crowd needs to hear for that wedding night. So if the couple gave you the playlist and Uptown Funk is not working, ultimately they're trusting you, the professional, to really steer the ship, play other music that will get the crowd engaged. So it is nice to know about the vibe that the couple wants and what you're trying to do to create for them, but it's also even better to be prepared in case it doesn't happen the way you expect things to be, and knowing that you have the permission to do what feels right and knowing how to do it. Number 6, never go to a wedding without an assistant. You see, as a DJ, we have such a huge responsibility, and I'm sure there are a lot of things going through our heads. We need to do this, we need to do that, we need to go here, we need to go there, we have to make sure this is working properly, and blah, blah, blah. If you know, you know. But here's the thing. Now imagine if you had a DJ assistant to help you with those tasks, so that way you can focus on the tasks at hand. You see, the couple are paying you the big dollars to focus on the big things that they hired you to do. By having a DJ assistant, you will have the mental capacity to do what your clients hired you to do. And you get to save so much time if you had a DJ assistant. Let me give you an example. I mean, you can have your DJ assistant help you create content for you, record video, take some pictures. You can also have your DJ assistant help break down equipment, adjust a speaker, bring back a cable, do a sound check. And there's so many things, but it's all for the benefit of helping you do your best on the wedding day. And it's also serving the couple as well, because you are focused on the important things that your couple wants you to do. And here's a bonus story if you're still watching this video. Once upon a time, there was an after party at a wedding, and there was a cute maid of honor. And thanks to my trusty wedding DJ assistant, he was able to pack up while I was getting a date. Seriously, DJ assistants are amazing. By avoiding these things, your DJ business is going to take off with positive word of mouth, referrals, and providing an overall great experience for your clients. So much so that you might actually have to hire that DJ assistant if you haven't already. In my next video, I'm going to talk about what to look for, how to hire, and how to train a DJ assistant to help you at your events. Follow me here so you don't miss it.